Welcome back to the Shipyard. It's Card of the Week number 2. Hey, we haven't been canceled yet. Yeah, I know I'm the guy in charge, but we still haven't been canceled yet. That's a good thing. So, uh, I've been thinking about where to go after Warp Jump. And not necessarily Power Curve or anything like that. The only card that's been sticking in my mind that's not like the new hotness, but Jennifer Sisko. Um, she's a good card. And a lot of people haven't been talking a lot about her. And I wonder if people are being cagey or if she's really just kind of fallen down. Um, so let's get into that. She is a 3-point mirror unique. And she gives you a tech slot. And then at the start of the game, after setup, you target an enemy ship anywhere, disable up to 2 upgrades of your choice on the target ship. So that's really good, right? You get to come in, mess with their stuff, but there's ways to counter that, obviously. There's obvious things like cost, dispersion field, Mazzotti now. Those are quick counters and rebuttals to Gen Sisko. Um, at the very least, if you don't want to pay for those or you're not a Borg ship, you can take the very slow approach and do like a 1 forward, re-enable, and you're back to fighting strength. Now, your opponent can come in on that second turn and be in position to shoot you, but you have brought the battle to your side, and for the most part, that is your advantage. Because you're slow playing one ship, you can have the rest of your fleet in position for that. And unless they're running something like Picard maneuver to completely jump the board and be in a shooting position on round 1, having a couple of your upgrades disabled from the get-go is not a game-breaking effect. Now, Gen Sisko, in combination with other things that are going to keep disabling, discarding Gen Sisko, with something like conditional surrender, and her being the only crew, and her adding a tech slot, that opens up a lot of possibilities. But is she everything that you want her to be? I don't know. I truthfully do not know the answer to that question. That's why I want to throw it out here. Spend some time talking about this. The other thing that's hurt her a lot is that with her being 4 points off faction, she's now too expensive to go on any shuttlecraft other than Quark's treasure, which is becoming rather expensive. So that new 3-point limitation on shuttles coming into play in a big way. So what's the upside of Gen Sisko? Well, it's been stated. If you can get through your opponent's defenses, you are hampering their upgrades. Now, some fleets are running very minimalistic upgrades, and that's okay. Even if Gen Sisko disables 1 upgrade, that is still advantage you. You're hurting them. Now, they get to re-enable it on 1 turn. But I still feel that that is hurting their ability to do what they want to do. Right? If they're a cloaking fleet, their ideal action sequence is cloak on turn 1, sensor echo on turn 2, or evade on turn 2. But it's not re-enable turn 1, cloak on turn 2. They want to come in perma-cloaked, or stagnant cloak, whatever you want to call it, so that you can't target lock them on turn 2. So if you're forcing them to cloak on turn 1 and then re-enable turn 2, again, I think that's your advantage. Also, the defenses we've talked about, Koss, Dispersion Field, Mazzotti. Conceivably, a fleet could have one of each of those across the fleet. But I don't think that fleets are going to be running those three. I think that there's going to be a weak link somewhere, and that gives you an opening. Is that enough of an opening? I don't know. Because if somebody says, okay, I don't want to pay for 3 protections, I'll protect 1 ship or 2 ships. That means they've elected that the 3rd ship is okay for you to target. So, yeah, I think Gen Sisko's something to be aware of, for sure. The high-level player needs to be aware of Gen Sisko. Is she the be-all, end-all? No, I don't think so. I think her time may have come and gone. But, this is the but. I think the counterplay here is, if people are thinking that her time has come and gone, then they're not prepared for her. And then that opens the door back for her to be slightly more relevant. And maybe you catch some people by surprise. So, I think this is one of those situations where the play of your local group says a lot about whether or not you should run Gen Sisko. I think there's definitely a use for her. She is certainly scenario specific, but if we're talking about an open battlefield, the objective scenario, even then I think she has a little bit of use, but not as much use as you would want or as one would think that she would. So, all that being said, I know there's been a lot of hemming, hawing, if then, the qualification statements, the conditionals, all of these things. But I think Gen Sisko can have a place, but I don't think she ultimately has the best place in a high-level tournament fleet. So choose wisely. There's other ways to get tech slots these days. There are other ways to disable and even force discard, steal upgrades. Those become far more relevant and far more impactful in games. So, on that note, that's our card of the week. To suggest future cards of the week, feel free to get in touch with me. Email's in the description. You guys know how to get a hold of me on Facebook and such. You can always leave comments. You guys let me know what you're looking for. I'm happy to incorporate them in the show. And yeah. So hopefully this style is interesting and engaging. That's what we always strive for. So until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.